We heard there, Angela Merkel, she will not be the leader of her party, the CDU, but she's not stepping down as Chancellor. She'll continue to be the leader of Germany. She always said she wouldn't do that. So how does that work?
Well, I think how well Angela Merkel is able to continue to govern as Chancellor once she has handed over the job of party leader really depends on who takes over this job as leader of the CDU party. And so far, we've had three names of three prominent CDU MPs who say that they plan to run for party leader in December. One Merkel ally, Annegret Kramp-Karrenbauer, who's very close to the Chancellor, and many think in her pragmatic ways and temperament is actually very similar to Merkel. So many think that this relationship could be quite harmonious. But there are also two Merkel adversaries who have put their names forward. Jens Spahn, the young and ambitious health minister, who's very much a Merkel critic, and also Friedrich Merz, who's an old rival of Merkel's. And they could make life quite difficult if they did take over as head of the party. And of course, Angela Merkel faces very troubling times from within her own coalition government. This is not a government that's very happy at the moment. And of course, a very vocal opposition in the parliament, so she could become a bit of a lame duck. Angela Merkel has always said that she believes Chancellor and party leader are two jobs that should go hand in hand, and her decision to hand over the job of party leader is very much being seen as the beginning of the end of the Merkel era in Germany. As I can show you in the press this morning here in the broadsheet newspaper, the Süddeutsche Zeitung, the headline, "The era of Merkel is coming to an end." And perhaps just slightly more bluntly put on the front of tabloid Bild, Merkel at the end of her power.
Jessica, what does this mean for Germany's position in Europe? I mean, Merkel has been seen as the sort of mother figure of Europe for a while.
Absolutely. Angela Merkel has become an incredibly important leader in Europe and beyond over the 13 years of her tenure. And I think what she'll probably be most notably remembered for in Europe is her handling of the European crisis, and most notably the migration issue, which many think sealed her fate. Although it is important to say that even though the majority of the German electorate got very frustrated with the government's squabbling over the migration issue, the majority still believes that she made the right decision to let in over 1 million refugees come into Germany. And I think she's also become an incredibly seasoned diplomat. In fact, even Angela Merkel's critics say that she's very, very seasoned negotiator and very good at keeping relations going with leaders that she both gets on with and leaders that she doesn't necessarily see eye to eye with. So this is going to be very difficult for whoever follows in her footsteps to catch up with. But then, as Angela Merkel herself said, it's time for new ideas within the CDU party. It's time for a new chapter.